I'm here today with my good friend Nadine Vogel, and we're going to talk about something that people don't talk a lot about, which is the intersectionality of LGBTQ, veterans, and people with disabilities. So my question to you is, why don't we talk about these things more, and why are they important?
We don't talk about it more because people with disabilities feel like they have their own issues. They don't need to adopt LGBT, and they don't need to adopt veterans, and everybody feels that way. We hear that all the time, like, Nadine, we got our own issues. On the other hand, we don't realize that we have so much in common. If we did, and when we do, we start having wonderful conversations, because 1 + 1 can make 3 sometimes.
Wow. So tell me, what's the big challenge, what's the big barriers to getting people to understand and embrace this intersectionality of diversity?
So it's understanding exactly what those commonalities are, right? So people with disabilities, especially those with invisible disabilities, coming out, disclosure. It's no different for people in the LGBTQ community, or a veteran that maybe has post-traumatic stress, right? So we have to understand we have that in common. We also have healthcare disparities in common. We have issues around bias in common. We'll hear things like, oh, that's retarded, or that's so queer, right? So, on the other hand, there are some unique things that we can learn from one another. So the LGBTQ community does a phenomenal job with allies and with pride. Disability community, not so much, because it goes more to advocacy. And in the workplace, in a corporate environment, we don't see advocacy as being positive.
Right.
But we have to remember, in the LGBTQ community, there's a very high propensity to adopt children with disabilities.
Right.
So these people are special needs parents.
Right.
So it's just going through each one of these issues, tearing them apart, and then building them back up together. And when we do, amazing things can happen, because the truth is none of us are just one thing.
Right.
And recently we even started talking about religion, and religion as it relates to the three, right? So when you start embracing difference, but you do it in a very broad, open-minded way, you realize that there's more in common than you think.
So tell the folks that are listening and watching, what is Springboard, and how are you? Well, why don't you just tell folks about Springboard and what you do? Why don't you do that?
So Springboard Consulting is part of Springboard Global Enterprises. We work with corporations in about 37 countries around the world to mainstream people with disabilities in the workforce, the workplace, and the marketplace.
And what are you most proud of today?
I am most proud of the fact that I have 2 adult daughters with disabilities who have become independent, functioning, successful adults, and that in some way, shape, and form, Springboard has helped them do that, as hopefully it has helped many others around the globe that have disabilities.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us about Springboard. I know you guys are doing fantastic things.
Thank you, my dear. Nadine Vogel, Chief Executive Officer of Springboard Consulting, a division of Springboard Global Enterprises. Now this is what diversity looks like.